If you want real freedom, the kind where you can travel, live lightly, and design your own life, the very first step isn't what you think.
It's not selling your home. It's not saving money, and it's not quitting your job.
The first step to freedom, well, it's getting rid of your stuff.
The turning point.
5 years into this lifestyle, we can say one thing with absolute certainty. We should have started letting go so much sooner.
When we sold our home in the first week of March, the new buyers were not taking possession until July 1st. 4 months. 4 months to get rid of a lifetime of belonging. The funny thing is, we thought that would give us plenty of time.
And we can tell you right now, 4 months is absolutely nothing when you've spent decades collecting things.
We gave a lot away to friends, family, and charities. We felt really good about that.
But not everyone has that luxury. A lot of people need to get value out of their things, especially if they're downsizing because of cost of living. And that's why the sooner you start, the better your outcome will be.
Why we hold on.
People really struggle to let go of stuff. They remembered what they paid 5, 10, 20 years ago.
But the truth is, technology moves fast. Tastes change. And what was valuable then often isn't worth a fraction of that today.
They're still valuable items, of course, but selling takes time. Time to find the right buyer, time to negotiate, and time just waiting. And that's why you should start early, years before you even plan to start selling your home, or make the big move. The best realtors, they would all agree to get top dollar for your home. They all agree that it should be uncluttered. More stuff that you have in a home, the smaller it's going to look and feel.
Marketplace.
Jill, I call her the marketplace queen.
I did. And honestly, Marketplace is amazing. You can sell so much on there, but it also takes time. People, they'll message you, they'll try to negotiate with you, they will schedule a pickup, they'll be late for their pickup, sometimes they'll ghost you. So you need to have a lot of patience when selling your item.
Which is why starting early is the secret. Go up to your attic, go into your basement, open those boxes you haven't opened for years. Yep, you know the ones I'm talking about.
So that's your starting point. If it's been sitting there untouched, it's not part of your future. It's just simply taking up space in the present.
Doing your kids a favor.
Here's something that people, they just don't think about. If you find it hard to get rid of your stuff, just imagine how hard it's going to be for your kids.
There's guilt, there's emotion, there's the fear that throwing something away means you're disrespecting memories.
Our kids told us straight up, they don't want our stuff. They live differently. Their photos, well, they're all on their phones. And their homes, well, they're much smaller. By dealing with your stuff now, you're actually doing your kids a massive favor for later. And speaking of our kids, they're actually here with us right now in Africa.
They watched us let go of decades of belongings, and they'll tell you, we are so much happier for it. Well, here we are, beautiful Lion's Head, Cape Town, and the boys have joined us for a whole month. It's been absolutely amazing. Steven's got to go home tonight. He's flying out, and Jack's got another few days, and Matt couldn't make it. He's busy with his work, but anyway, that's not what this story is about. It's about getting rid of all your stuff. You all feel so guilty. You think your kids are going to want it down the road, and I don't think that's the case with you guys, is it?
Nope. No, not really.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were getting rid of all our stuff, and I was constantly calling Steve and saying, "Oh, I've got this, I've got that."
Yeah, I remember they started to purge, and I ended up getting hockey bags full of king-size sheets, and I only have a queen-size bed, so they're still sitting there. I think I'm going to take them to the Salvation Army.
Yeah, well, hey, we admit it's not easy. It's not easy getting rid of your stuff, but it's definitely the first step, and start early. Start 3, 4, 5 years before you're ready to make the big move. And how about you, Jack? I think you were a little bit upset about us getting rid of all the photos, the old photos.
Well, I already have enough of your guys' paintings, so I think I'm okay on my end.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, so you're not going to hold it against us that we got rid of all our junk then, eh?
No,
Yeah.
I don't need any more of your fishes or valuables. I think I'm good on my end.
And something else, maybe they're not even aware of it, but storage is very, very expensive. So many people get storage lockers. This stuff sits in it for years, and that adds up real quick. And I think the kids personally would appreciate a few extra bucks down the road than having to deal with all our stuff.
I think I can speak for a lot of people in our age demographic. We live in shoeboxes. We don't have storage. We don't have enough room for our gear. We don't want our parents.
I think it's more worthwhile them traveling the world and us meeting them in South Africa or the Philippines or Mexico or wherever they are in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's more worthwhile making those memories together, not just over stuff. We gotta have these pictures, or we gotta have these valuables that we can't get rid of. They're just things.
The possession trap, our friend's story.
We also have a friend whose story really shows how possessions can become a trap. Not because the items are worthless, but because the decisions around them weren't strategic.
He was ready to leave Canada and was completely fed up. He had a beautiful waterfront home.
But he held on to the idea of prices from 2 years earlier and ended up following the market downward for more than a year. It happens to a lot of people. Denial is very powerful.
And then came the big challenge, and that was his belongings. He valued everything as he remembered it, not as the market valued it today.
Nothing he owned was junk. He worked really hard for all of it. But the decisions, holding on to everything, storing it, shipping it, those decisions cost him tens of thousands of dollars.
2 large storage lockers in Canada and 2 massive containers shipped miles away.
And he moved to a beautiful tropical destination with a lot of holiday homes that are often fully furnished or designed completely different. So much of what he brought simply wasn't needed, but so many people, they just can't let go.
He's still paying for storage fees to this day. Not because the items were bad, but because he couldn't let go soon enough.
That's the possession trap. Not bad stuff, just bad timing.
The bigger picture. Everyone's home is full.
The funny thing is that once you've gone through this process, you start noticing things in other people's homes. The garages are full, the basements are full, the attics are stuffed, and closets, well, they're overflowing.
Most people don't realize how much they have until it's time to move or downsize. Just look at this Airbnb we're staying at. How long is it going to take to get rid of all this stuff? Especially if you want to get a decent price for it. And then the panic hits. What are we going to do with all of this stuff?
We believe this completely now. If you own something that you can't give away, you don't own it. It owns you.
Freedom doesn't start when you book a one-way ticket. Freedom starts the day you let go of the first thing that's been holding you back.
If you want freedom, your journey starts today. Not with a passport and not with a plan.
Start with your stuff. Open a drawer. Pick one item and just let it go.
That's the first step to a brand new life.
Tell us in the comments, what's the first thing that you could let go of? We'd love to hear all your stories.